right, so let me talk a little bit about air filters, air systems. So the 900 XP is kind of notorious for having a problem with the air system. And that's because they use this big flat air filter, and inherently that causes a few problems. First of all is their box design. It's really not the best. You've got a couple tabs down here, one here and one here, that have to match up with these tabs. So, you got to reach down in here, and it's easy now. I got the whole box off the back, but when you're trying to do it through the panel, it's kind of hard to see, but you got to make sure you get it in there. You can see they're supposed to have these little clips here. Well, I've had one broken off since I got this thing, so that's not exactly the best design. But anyway, make sure it's tight around here, and that will help you make sure it's sealed. But before you put this on, whether you're running the factory paper filter, a K&N filter, a UNI filter, whatever you're running on this thing, make sure you get some grease and get yourself the stickiest, thickest grease you can find. And you're going to grease this whole lip all the way around. And you're also going to grease it all the way around on the inside. And that's where you're going to put the filter. And the reason you're doing that is because dirt will actually suck in behind this filter because this surface may not be thick enough to actually get a good clamping force. Now there's some companies that sell an extra gasket that kind of takes up some of that room. You can get one of those, whatever is going to fix it, but I found that grease does a great job. Once I started greasing this, I didn't see any dirt getting behind it. The other thing I want to point out is Uni's actually changed their filter design. So this being the old filter, and you just had the rubber part down here, and then this was foam. Now it's rubber all the way to the top. So I think what they were trying to do is stiffen up this filter, because if you take a look at mine, look what it's done. Over time, there's so much suction with that engine. You got the big horns about right here, but in the corner, you get a lot of flex. And it's actually causing this metal little grid here to start breaking out. I actually cut these out of here before they flew into my engine, but you can see, there's some even right here, they're already broke. So if you start seeing that even on your paper filter, it's time to get rid of it, get yourself a new one. The other thing is, what Uni did is they added some more gasket material right here on the inside and the outside of this filter. So they tried to kind of take up some more space here, and hopefully that'll even stop any other dirt from coming through. Their instructions do say, hey, make sure that you oil all surfaces, right? So definitely oil the red side, flip it over, make sure you get the oil here on the yellow side, and they want you to oil this gasket, so on both sides. So these do not come oiled, and they do not come with oil. So you need to either pick yourself up some of the Uni oil. I've been using this PJ1 foam filter oil. They both seem to work. I've used them both. They both seem to work fine. So again, there's really nothing more important on your razor than the air system outside of motor oil, right? But if you don't keep this air system clean, you're going to be doing what I just did here, complete rebuild on an engine. So if you go 1,000 miles in your oil change, you should be servicing this air filter about 4 times. Every 200 to 300 miles, I would be popping this cover off, cleaning that thing, re-oiling it, and putting it back in. It is really cheap insurance. I know there's a huge debate on, do I go paper, do I go K&N, do I go Uni? I personally like the Uni filters. I'm in a very dusty desert type of environment, and this does a real good job of catching that with the oil. But it's not something I would run 1,000 miles on without servicing it, because that fine dust will really start to clog these up over time. So as long as you service them regularly, I think these will do a lot better than paper, because I honestly don't think I could afford the paper. I'd be going through one every 100 miles, in some of the dust we run in. So anyway, that should cover air systems. So I will see you on the next.